Youngstown will be the second city in the state to have a driverless shuttle on the ground.
And you'll be the first one on it to make a trial run,
sure.
so we all know it's safe.
Sure, we're going to let it run a couple times to make sure it works, then we'll get on, yes.
Thought Leaders is sponsored by Eastern Gateway Community College. With more than 35 programs, Eastern Gateway can help you with your career preparation and transfer plans.
We are joined today by Jim Kinnick, Executive Director of the Eastgate Regional Council of Governments. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
A lot of people, let's just put it out there, don't know what Eastgate is. It is a government agency. And tell me how many employees and what your mission is.
Well, Eastgate Council of Governments is really a combination of working with the communities locally here, Mahoning, Trumbull, and Ashtabula counties. And we're sort of like the in-between when it comes to state and federal funding sources. So we act as that agency. We're the metropolitan planning organization for both Mahoning and Trumbull counties. So we assist our communities when they're looking at planning for transportation needs. We also are involved with the Appalachian Regional Commission as a designated district. We help funnel money back into the areas both in Mahoning and Trumbull County as well as Ashtabula counties when it comes to those types of funding programs.
So for instance, your membership is made up of who?
The community members, cities, villages, townships, make up our members, and that's how we work with those communities.
And so do the municipalities, they call you and say, we're thinking of making some traffic changes or transportation changes. Can you help us with the drawings, actual engineering of it?
We don't do any of the engineering drawings. We help try to put the projects inside some type of priority for them. We look for funding methods to help those communities get those projects up and running. We have a good eye on what's going on in both the counties that we serve as a transportation arm. We work with those communities doing pavement ratings, bridge ratings, so that we pick the right projects. And then again, we get involved just to try to get them funded and get it in the right year. The communities then will hire a consultant and eventually get a project that will sell to construction.
So if a local entity gets a state or government grant, a lot of times that money will be funneled through you?
Yeah, the majority of the money that comes to this area from the state and federal government comes through Eastgate.
So how much money and projects, I guess, are you responsible for oversight of in a typical year?
Yeah, I think our normal program, a 2-year program we look at is $11 to $12 million in just our transportation dollars. We have other money, probably $1 to $1.5 million that comes through our ARC funds. And then we have numerous grants out there on special projects that we'd be able to pull into the area. Our river has been very successful getting money to remove the dams. That we just received another $3.5 million. So I think our normal program looks at probably $6 to $7 million annually. And then we do also have our OPWC program that churns in another couple $1 million. So I would say we're around $10, $11 million annually.
Let's look at some of the projects that you are funding right now. And really, Eastgate, I mean, you're kind of in a nice spot because you kind of see what the future is going to be for the area, don't you?
Correct. We're the Metropolitan Planning Organization, so we try to do more planning. We try to amp up our efforts and try to see what we can do. In our eye is really what's needed in the community. When it comes to transportation, our safety is our number one cause. But we also have our eye on economic development, what projects can help spur the economy.
Well, anyone who has driven downtown in the last few months has seen one of the major projects over on Fifth Avenue.
Correct.
Tell us about that, where you stand and what it's going to look like when all's said and done.
Yeah, that's an exciting project for us. That started 3.5 years ago. It's really putting together a project that would take Fifth Avenue, it's 6 lanes wide right now. When we look at 6 lanes, it's not needed to be 6 lanes. Back when the city was 160,000 people, you needed that type of roadway. And we find many of our streets, Commerce and Front Street, are also too wide. So we're road dieting those streets. We have a city now that's 65,000 people. By being able to shrink the streets, we make them more walkable, safer for our pedestrians, and we save on future maintenance dollars. So we wanted to also connect the city with the university, with the medical center at Mercy Health, which is up on Belmont and Park. We started a project under the Obama administration. There was a grant out there called Tiger. We tried 2 years in a row to get that Tiger grant, which was $10 million to do the type of work we want. Unsuccessful. The third year we were very successful just last December. I should say December of 18. We got the grant, we were awarded $11 million, and that's the project you're referring to. And what that grant will do is take all our streets, Fifth Avenue being the spine of our streets, shrink it down to 3 lanes, 1 lane each direction. We'll have a turn lane down the middle with a boulevard effect. We're going to put enhanced crosswalks to get the students from the one side of Fifth Avenue to the other. We also put in multi-use paths that will help connect the city with the university. When we come to downtown Youngstown, we're going to redo Federal Street, Commerce Street, Front Street, all road dieting.
You're saying dieting,
yes,
right?
Yes,
Okay,
it is a real technical term, but we're shrinking and we're making the streets smaller. Again, the streets down here do not warrant 5 lanes, so we'll take them down to 3 lanes. So when we get them down to 3 lanes, again, we can bring the crosswalks in closer, put the parallel parking. But what's really most important, what we're doing is that we're also adding a transit circulator that'll work from downtown up Fifth Avenue and over to Mercy Health, being able to get the people from WRTA's hub down here on Federal Street up through the university into the hospital quicker. One of the things we've done on that, and we think really pushes over the top when we talk about getting the grant, was the ability to add an autonomous shuttle. We worked with Drive Ohio, which is an arm of ODOT that was started with Governor Kasich, an initiative to move the state of Ohio to the forefront of autonomous vehicle technology. Part of that was then embraced by Governor DeWine and pushed forward. They wanted to be part of a project up in this part of the state. We were able to capture them on our Youngstown project, and we are offering a transit circulator that will be an autonomous shuttle when we get done. We think that was the innovation portion of the grant that pushed us over the finish line and got us the $11 million.
So the autonomous shuttle, let's just talk a little bit about that. That's not on a track or anything like a trolley. It's basically a shuttle without a driver.
The state law specifies that an attendant has to be in it, but it'll operate by itself. What's unique about it is uses LiDAR and radar and cameras to pick up the photography and then pick up the cars and the pedestrians or anything else that might come in its way, so that it recognizes that, then it'll stop if needed, and that's how it merges into traffic. But you're right, it doesn't run on a track, it's going to run in traffic.
And is it being used anywhere else at this point?
It is. We're excited. We're going to be the second city in the state of Ohio to implement this. There's one in Columbus that ran in their downtown corridor for the last year. They're looking to put a second shuttle on the ground now, but Youngstown will be the second city in the state to have a driverless shuttle on the ground.
And you'll be the first one on it to make a trial run,
sure.
so we all know it's safe.
Sure, we're going to let it run a couple times to make sure it works, then we'll get on, yes.
I guess, what is the bottom line in terms of the benefit of doing this road dieting? I mean, some people might look at it and go, why should you spend so much money to shrink it? What is going to be the end effect downtown?
Well, we really had a safety issue on Fifth Avenue with the campus growing and growing to the west, the new apartments that are being put there on Rain Avenue. The students are trying to cross. When you get up by the stadium, students are trying to get to the parking lots. It's tough. It's 6 lanes of road. That's a long way to cross on a green light. When the green light's going the other direction, you're in the red light. It's difficult. So by shrinking the streets, we're able to turn around and make the distance to cross from sidewalk to be 36 feet possibly versus 60 or even 72 feet. We also want to put in the boulevard effect with the trees and the uplighting, enhance the area, make it more walkable, make it more welcoming.
When do you think that portion of the project will be completed?
Well, we're excited. We are going to break ground on the Fifth Avenue project in April of this year. That'll take place, most of that construction will take place this construction season. Hopefully by the end of this calendar year, we'll be done with Fifth Avenue.
So what does that mean for football games?
Well, we'll see. We're hoping we're close and we work our way from top to bottom and make it a little bit easier. But there might be some inconveniences, but I hope everybody can see what's really going to happen and see the big picture.
And as far as the autonomous shuttle, what's the time frame for that?
Well, that's third phase when we actually implement the shuttle. The second phase will be a project that we're going to sell to do the downtown streets. And then the connector from north of the Madison Avenue Expressway over to the hospital will be part of it. That'll be part of phase 2. That'll take place the end of this calendar year and most of next year. So we're looking at either the end of next year or spring of 2022 to have the shuttle up and running.
Oh, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, it is. Very aggressive schedule, but we keep pushing.
Thought Leaders is sponsored by Eastern Gateway Community College. With more than 35 programs, Eastern Gateway can help you with your career preparation and transfer plans.